Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today we are going to look at something a little bit different to what you normally analyze here on this chart. So we're going to look at GBPUSD. So if you're new here, basically on this channel, I just analyze charts and just give you tips as to like what you need to do when you are faced with a chart or doing your own analysis. These are the things that you, or the steps that you can follow to try and analyze a chart. So for today's lesson, we're going to analyze GBPUSD. So make sure that you stick until the end. All right, so we're going to start with the highest time frame being our monthly chart, because when you're doing your analysis, you can't just, even if you're someone that trades on M15, you can't just say, I want to trade GBPUSD. I'm just going to look at it on M15 and then make my decision and trade. You can do that, but it's going to be very tricky. You're going to miss out on a lot of information, because you're going to just zoom in, look at like a small scale of which it will make your life easier if you were to look at the bigger picture, get the bigger picture first, then you drill down from there, so that by the time you get to a smaller time frame, at least you know how the other time frames look like, so that when you make your decision that side, at least you know that whether you've got more chances trying to trade to the downside or to the upside. So this is what we have on our monthly chart, and what we can take from this is that the price has been dropping from that point, and this is the lowest point we have reached, right? And now the price is sort of recovering, and if you try and follow this move that the price is forming now, trying to recover this one here, you can see that when the price was moving to the downside, there was a pause here, there was a pause there. So remember, we've got imbalances at those areas where you can have things like a drop, a base, and a drop, right? So this is what we're talking about, this type of a thing here. So basically, when this was formed, the sellers were trying to push down, the buyers tried to come in, then the sellers took over again. So that's why we cannot ignore that space. So the first one has been removed, the second one not yet. So basically, we are inside the second zone. So we can say that the bulls are trying to win the battle, because they've only took what they've only taken out one zone, right? The second one, they haven't removed it. So they do have, if they take out this one, if they move higher than this horizontal line, they will have all this space to push at least until they hit that resistance, the next one there. But for now, what you can take from this is that yes, the price has been recovering nicely, but now somewhere around that 126,730, around there, it's not going to be easy for the price to pass that, because of what, its zone is not a good looking one, but it is still something. So let's check what we have on weekly. So basically, this is the structure on weekly. So what do we have here? Let's see. So we can see that the same thing that we're seeing there on on monthly, it's the same thing this side. Like, we had a nice trend to the downside, it has been removed, and areas of resistance taken out. So therefore, our weekly is bullish. And it being bullish, we still have this zone here, which is basically around the same monthly area of resistance that we had. Remember, we placed the horizontal line. So this is the nearest area of resistance that you're having on this time frame. So you can say that my weekly is bullish, and currently we're inside weekly area of resistance, and of which this horizontal line will be a backup for that, to say that they will try by all means not to allow the bulls to cross this. But because should the bulls cross that 1.2678, 1.2673, it means now they will have all this space to try and reach for that. So the sellers, I don't think they will just let them move past that, but you'll never know. They can lose the battle, because of what, if you look at the zone, it's not fresh, it has been hit multiple times already. So the strength is no longer there, but they will still try and defend it. So there's a chance that they can try and hold the price there, or even push it to the downside, because if they let the price move above like that, then it's over, because now they will have all this space to work with. So what we can take from this is that our weekly is bullish, and if you try and put a bullish trend on, it will be something like that. So we are bullish, we've got a bullish trend line, and we can put our area of support or demand at this swing low there. So that's the structure that we have. So basically, we're saying that because of the location where we are, we do understand, us being bullish and stuff. But because of the location where we are, there's always a possibility of the sellers pushing us down towards that bullish trend line. And should that happen, it will depend whether when they're coming down like that, did they respect this? If they respected this 1.27673, it means that the sellers, they are still fighting, they're pushing to the downside on that monthly. So you need to be careful when you are buying because of what the monthly is not yet out. But if the bulls were to show some strength and remove that, it means now they have removed this obstacle here. They would have removed it, and then should the price pull back, that's where you'll say, I can try and buy from this trend line or from that support, because it is the one that pushed up and removed this very strong level that you're talking about. So when the price, or if it happens to come down like that, you just need to assess what it did there, whether it removed that horizontal line or it just came back without taking out the horizontal line. So let's see what we have on daily. So this is our daily structure. We are also bullish this side, and we're still inside, the same level that you're talking about. So as being bullish, you can put your trend line anywhere around there. It's up to you. And in terms of our zone, we can say here on daily, our zone is this one here. So we've got our daily support or demand, right? So should the price now, you see right now, like I said, anywhere from where we are until that horizontal line that we marked there around 12673, it's very sensitive. The sellers will try and protect that space. They were not going to allow the bulls to just pass that space easily, which means they will try and push price to the downside. So if it happens that the price comes down towards your daily support or demand, right? If it happens to come there, that's why I said when the price comes down, or it happens, if it does that, right, you need to assess where it came from to say that before it came to touch this support, did it remove this obstacle that you're talking about? Because if it removed the obstacle, then I can buy without any worries. I can buy knowing very well that there's nothing that's going to prevent the price or that's pushing against what I'm trying to do here. But if it happens that the price just, from where it is, it just moves towards this, yes, we do understand that daily is still bullish and weekly is also bullish. So if you want to buy there, I would suggest you do that with confirmation, because if it happens that these guys here are the ones that are pushing to the downside, because remember it's a monthly zone, then this daily zone can just be easily wiped out like that. So you need to be careful and check where the price is coming from, because that will tell you whether you can, relax and not, even if you don't go with confirmation, or it will, tell you whether you should just, do confirmation only. So let's check what we have on H4. So this is our H4 chart, and in terms of the trend, still the same as what we had on daily and weekly. So we are bullish, and we have got our support there. This is our support. So in terms of what I'm going to say with regards to this chart is going to be the same as what I said on daily. So basically, we are bullish and we have got a nice zone here. Should the price move down to this zone, you always ask yourself, it coming down towards this zone, is it because it's reacting from that monthly zone, or is it that they removed the obstacle, now it's just pulling back to gather some strength and continue with the trend? So that's what you need to check. So that's why even this one, yes, you assess the zone, it looks not bad. So you can also do what? Look for buy trades there with confirmation and still push up, targeting wherever the zone the price tends before coming, or even towards moving up towards that horizontal line. So even H4 is saying we're still very much bullish. We don't have any bullish structures being removed. That's our trend line, that's our support. But let's say it happens the price reacts from this monthly zone, and then it just moves down, and when it gets there, you are looking for confirmation, then it doesn't give you confirmation, it moves down like that. Then you will say, okay, we were looking for for buy trades because the price was respecting a bullish trend line, the price was respecting areas of support, and the price was bullish. That's why we were looking for buy trades. But we knew very well that because of the location where we are in terms of the bigger time frame, the monthly, as being around that horizontal line that marks where a monthly resistance, and because of that location, we knew that it's possible that the sellers can just kick in and move to the downside strongly and wipe out everything on smaller time frames, which is what you'll be seeing here. So when that happens, if that happens, then you will say my H4 is no longer going to the upside, it's now going to the downside, which means it's moving in the direction of this reaction that we're talking about from that monthly resistance. So if it's moving to the downside, then all you have to do is to identify the nearest resistance that push to the downside, breaking the structures, changing the momentum. Then you identify that to say, because the price already has moved by this much, I cannot just jump in there and say sell. I mean, the price is oversold already. So you need to be patient enough to say that, okay, now that I know that it's going to the downside, I just wait for it to pull back before it continues. Because remember, when the price is moving down, it will have impulses, pullbacks, impulses, pullbacks. So you're always trying to target or catch these big moves here. So when the downtrend is confirmed, all you have to do is just to wait, and the price will pull back towards the resistance. Then when it gets there, you can sell. But right now, if you were to say I'm looking for an early entry, I know the location allows me to try and look for selling trades. So if maybe you get reversal signs there that the price could go to the downside, you can do that, but you need to make sure that you understand that if you're taking that sell trade, it's a very risky one because the trend on this time frame is going up. So you can do that, but knowing very well that you will just target this or this, so these two. So you cannot sell there and already you are predicting that the trend is going to change. No, we don't do that. You just trade until the next opposing structure. Then you observe whether the structure is holding or it's being defeated. So if it's been taken out, that's when you can say, oh, already I had a trade, it's been I hit my take profit, let me try and search for another trade. Then that's when you catch the pullback. So you must let the market direct you where it wants to go first, then you jump in. Because if you're trying to tell the market to say on H4, I want you to break every support and go to the downside, the chances of this happening, it can happen, but you don't have to try and act like the master like that. So you just need to wait for the market to show you that I want to go to the downside, then you join. I want to go to the upside, then you join. Then for you to try and say to the market, yay, move up, go to the downside. No, that's not gonna work. So this is what we're having on the H4. So I just showed you the way in which you can, or the steps that you can take when you're trying to take a buy trade, because the trend currently is still going up. You can just mark this, but confirmation, because if we're coming from there and reacting from the monthly, we might defeat you, which is why you need confirmation for that. And then selling, you've got two options. If you say the location, yes, suggests that the sellers can kick in, then you're trying to get an early entry. If you get it, you're going to target this trend line or this structure, because both of them are bullish structures and the trend is still bullish. You cannot fight them. You just get there, then you're out. If they are removed, then that's how you can take another sell trade. So let's check H1. So this is what we're having on H1. So the H1 is also still very much bullish, and we can put a bullish trend line there and say we are currently inside a support, but it's not the strongest because it just moved this much. So if I'm taking a buy trade and then I'm placing my stop loss outside, I mean, look at the TP. It's so small when you compare it to the stop loss. So that's why the profit margin there doesn't allow. So this one we're not gonna take. So the fact that you can see that we are bullish, but now we are no longer, because when we are bullish, we expect you to give us impulse, then allow them to pull back. Impulse, pull back. So these impulses we expect them to be much stronger than when the price is pulling back. So that the bulls are in control, they will just push, creating new highs like that. So once we see you having stuff like this, we know you're strong. But that's when we start to get worried. Are you losing momentum? What's going on? Because now your impulse is so small. So that's when you're like, okay, Could this mean that the sellers are trying to challenge for power now? They want to be in charge. We will see. We'll find out about that one. So you can just put the trend line, which is what we're having here at the moment. You just put it there and say this is my H1 trend line, and we are at the support. Unfortunately, I couldn't take this buy because of what? The profit margin is not enough. So if I want to sell, I will wait for this to be removed. The same thing that we said on H4. If this is taken out, then you can sell to the downside. But in terms of buying, I would suggest you wait for a new area of support to form, unless if you want to risk with this one. You know you had a support, but for me the profit margin is no, it's not enough, so I'll pass on this one. So you can just wait for the new one to form, and then you continue buying like that. So that's all that you can expect from this one. So if you enjoy these videos, guys, just make sure that you subscribe if you haven't done that already, so that when I make a new upload, you'll be notified. So let's end it here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.